James and the Giant Peach by Ronald Dahl. James and his friends woke up to the peach lurching to the ground, so Centipede helped it on its way. Then off they went, bursting through the gate and anything in its way. Finally, they went in the ocean.
After floating a while, the next morning the sun was shining so bright that the peach was like a giant golden ball in the sea. As they were finishing their meal, Centipede said, "Look at that thin black thing in the water." They were all afraid to admit that the thin black thing is a shark. They had to figure out a way to get away from the hungry sharks. Since the sharks had a pointed nose, they couldn't eat the peach because the peach was round and it was hard for the sharks to eat the peach. James collected like 1,000 seagulls. Then the sharks were piling up and more sharks came.
Because sharks were trying to eat the peach, James made a plan. The plan was to use Worm so the seagulls would try to eat him. But when the seagulls tried to get him, they would pull Worm back into the hole. James would have silk from this spider and silkworm. James had a loop on the silk so he could get the silk on the seagull's neck and also tie the silk on the stem of the peach. They did that 1,000 of times and got 1,000 of seagulls. Then they went up to the sky.
After getting away from the sharks, on one crazy night, James and the creatures saw what they called cloudmen. The earthworm said, "Are they going to eat us?" The centipede answered, grinning, "They would eat you." A couple minutes later, the centipede started taunting the cloudmen. The cloudmen got so angry they started throwing hailstones. The hailstone caused holes and holes in the peach. The centipede said they must be absolutely mad. The earthworm whispered, "Be quiet, you pests." So they turned around and went back into the peach to stay safe from the hailstone.
After the cloudmen threw their hailstones, the giant peach started floating back up. In fact, it went so high it hit into a rainbow arch that the cloudmen were pinching. When they hit the arch, it automatically split in two. The arch got tangled in some silk strings, but Centipede chewed through the strings that the arch got caught on. After floating freely through the night, when full daylight, all the creatures and James woke up and stretched their bodies, and Centipede looked out the hole and said, "Look, there is land below." Centipede said, "I've always wanted to go to America." Far below them in the city of New York, all the people saw this big black thing, and all the people started calling the authorities. I suggest you read this book about the adventures of James and his friends.